There we go.
Kristin Wenstrom. I'm a staff attorney at Innocence Project New Orleans, and I handle their petitions for compensation for wrongful conviction and incarceration.
Okay, so exactly what happened today? How do you think it went? Let's do that.
I think it went well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the judges seemed open to hearing my arguments and seemed willing to make the statute work for Mr. Ford. You know, the statute, this portion of the statute that we are arguing about today has not been litigated before, and so this court has room to maneuver. You know, there's not a court case or a rule that specifically tells it exactly what to do, and so I think, you know, like I said, this court can take the statute and make it work for Mr. Ford and grant him compensation for his wrongful conviction.
Okay, when the district court turned down the petition to give Mr. Ford the money, how did that happen? Were you surprised? I mean, did you think it was a no-brainer when you started out with this thing?
Yeah, I mean, when I started out, it certainly seemed like a no-brainer. The state itself motioned for Mr. Ford's conviction to be vacated and for him to be released. The state's motion said that he did not commit the crime, that he did not participate or was not present for the robbery and murder that he had been convicted of. So it seems straightforward. Unfortunately, the state came up with some of these other crimes and trying to manipulate the statute to have Mr. Ford barred from receiving compensation for the wrongful conviction using, I guess what you could say, is technicalities.
Was he surprised about the ruling, the first one?
He actually was not. Mr. Ford, he was disappointed, but not surprised. This is a person, remember, who the justice system failed him for 30 years. He told the police what happened days after that crime, and that was used against him, and he was wrongly convicted, and he spent 30 years trying to prove his innocence. So he knows that the justice system, or he doesn't expect the justice system to work for him. So he wasn't surprised. He was disappointed, yes, absolutely. But he was not surprised.
Did he want to appeal it?
Absolutely, yes.
He did.
Not only because he wanted the money for his grandchildren, he was on his deathbed, but for him, this case is about showing the world how these cases go wrong and why the death penalty was wrong. That was what it was about for him. And so it was important to him not only to fight to get compensation for his children, or to help his children, but also for the world to know about how the state wrongfully prosecuted him.
Okay, why you today, your argument with the judges, what exactly is your argument, and what do you expect them to do with that?
The argument is that the trial court's ruling was clearly erroneous. It gets a little technical, but the statute requires that if you're going to bar a person that you agree was wrongly convicted of a crime, if you're going to bar them from receiving compensation, the state need to have proven at trial that you're guilty of these other crimes. And simply put, that was not proven at trial. The trial court said that there was evidence of these other crimes, but in fact there wasn't. I mean, the citations were to things that were excluded from trial, so it was clearly erroneous. But the bigger picture here is, do the courts recognize that Mr. Ford's life meant something? Do the courts recognize that he was not a throwaway person, and those 30 years that he spent wrongfully incarcerated were wrong, and that he deserves some sort of redress for those years?
Okay, very good.